Hey guys, what's up? Do you want to play and or collect cheap RPGs because you're poor like me? Well, here are 7 great recommendations for your low budget. These games in most parts of the world are the equivalent of $15 or even less. So yeah, I did base my prices on price charting, but since price charting always throws the lowest of the lowest prices ever, I also did some research on Amazon, eBay, Mercado Libre, and other websites. So I have for certainty that some of these games are cheap, $15 or less in most of the world. Okay, let's begin. Alright, let's start with the best game of this entire video, and that is Valkyria Chronicles on the PS3. Now, keeping in mind, I'm talking about the original version on the PS3 that came out several years ago, not the remastered version on the PS4, which is a $15 to $20 game nowadays. Perhaps one day it will be 15 or less, who knows. The original version, man, that's a hell of a version. It's a great game. I have praised this awesome strategy RPG to death in this channel. Not only this game, but the entire series as well. Yep, I'm a fan of Valkyria Chronicles. I'm a big Valkyria fan, and I can't recommend this game less than what I've already done in this channel. So Valkyria Chronicles is a game that you will find for even less than $10 if you're lucky in a lot of places on this beautiful planet. Some people have found this game for $5, maybe $7, but in my region, I have never seen this game for less than $10, which is why I didn't include this particular game on the previous video. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a $15 or less game. And should you buy it? Yes, it is a great game that you should have. Next is Blue Dragon on the Xbox 360. It's an exclusive to that system. This is a turn-based RPG and one of the first games Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of the Final Fantasy series, made with his new company Mistwalker after he quit Square Enix. Now, okay, it's not that great of a game, but it's good. I mean, for $15 or less, why the hell not? In some places you will find this game for less than $10, maybe even $5. So come on. But, like I've been saying, I haven't seen this game for less than $10 where I live. I did see this game some years ago for less than 10. It was like a $5 to $7 game, but that was years ago. Nowadays, it's a little bit hard in some parts of this world, especially in Mexico where I live, to find this game for less than $10, but it's definitely less than $15. Maybe $12, maybe $11. Whatever the case, Blue Dragon is a decent RPG, and for less than $15, it's a great purchase. Next on the list is another Xbox 360 RPG, Infinite on Discovery. You wanna know who made this game, this excellent action RPG? Tri-Ace. People who made the Valkyrie Profile and Star Ocean series. That's right, Infinite on Discovery, it's a pretty underrated game. A lot of people trash this game because, I don't know, the characters, or maybe the voice acting, or some of the gameplay mechanics. Come on, this is a pretty decent action RPG. It has mixed reviews, yes, but for $15 or even $10 or less, it's a great purchase. It's also an exclusive on the system, so if you have an Xbox 360, come on, Infinite on Discovery, Tri-Ace, you can't go wrong with that. And speaking about Tri-Ace, here's Star Ocean 3. That's right, a PS2 game. You know how most of PS2 JRPGs are not even $20 anymore? all of them are like $15 to $20 or more than that. In fact, I was going to include a couple here, but I couldn't find any copies for less than $15. But Star Ocean 3, however, Jesus, I can't believe it's still that cheap. Of course, if you want to find this game in perfect condition, complete in box with its 2 discs and the cardboard box, maybe you will have a hard time finding it for less than $15 with the normal version. Or the greatest hits version, that's a $15 game or less. Maybe in less than 10 if you're lucky, but in my case, I have never seen this game, never, and I mean it, for less than $10, which is why I decided to include this game on this video and not on the previous one. Star Ocean 3, or rather Star Ocean Till the End of Time, it's a great game, one of the best Star Ocean games ever made, and a game on the PS2 that you should own and play and have for less than $15. Now, in some parts, maybe this game is more expensive, I have no doubt about that, and I know even in places like North America or even Europe, finding this game for $15 or less can be a little bit tricky, but I'm pretty sure you will find it. Now, a game that isn't tricky one bit, it's the next game in the series, Star Ocean 4, also known as Star Ocean The Last Hope. This game came out on the PS3 as the international version and also on the Xbox 360. And trust me, both versions, they're completely worth it. I think the Xbox 360 version is harder than the PS3 version, but that's just my opinion. I played both versions and I found the international version, the PS3, easier. But whatever the case, these are great games. Again, a lot of people trash this game, but they have been trashing the entire series since Star Ocean 2 came out. So come on, just play the game, either version, and have an opinion on your own. But Star Ocean The Last Hope is a game that, trust me, you will find it for less than $15. I can almost guarantee that, in some parts of the world, of course. So since the international version is on the PS3, like an exclusive for the PS3, later released on the PlayStation Network as a remaster version, I believe, on the PS4. But whatever the case, this version in particular is the best version, is sort of like the complete version. So I'm recommending the PS3 version instead of the Xbox 360, but like I said, you can't go wrong with either version. They're both, well, practically the same game, and trust me, it's one hell of a game. Next on the list is a game that is a little bit tricky to find for less than $15, and that is Phantasy Star Portable. This is a sequel to Phantasy Star Universe Ambition of the Illuminus, that's right. They continue the saga on the PSP, so this is like Phantasy Star Universe 3? It is. Now this game, a couple of years ago, was like a $10 game or even less, and when I was in England, I saw this game for less than that. And I'm pretty sure you will find this game if you try harder and if you keep looking. In North America maybe, or even maybe in Latin America, you will find this game for $15 or less. I know it's tricky, I know if you go right now to eBay or Amazon, it's gonna be a little hard to find for that price, but I know it is there. I know that if you know how to look or how to search, you will find this game for less than $15. Now, is it good? Yes, it is. It may not be one of the best Phantasy Star games ever made, but it's a pretty cool action RPG. And no, you don't need to play this online. A lot of people thought this Universe Saga was online only. No, all of them have their own story, great story, not just 10 hours of gameplay story. No, like 20 or probably more hours of gameplay. You create your character, you go into this adventure with these characters, with this plot. Trust me, it's a great game offline, and you should definitely own it for less than $15. Last but not least, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles on the PS3. This is a compilation of the first 2 Symphonia games. Well, there are only 2, by the way. So Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World. Now these games, this version in particular, which holds the 2 games, it's a pretty cheap game, actually. I've seen this game many times for less than $15. I never seen this game for less than 10, which is why it wasn't in the first video. but for less than $15, it's been on that price for a long time. I don't know, maybe in a few months or years it's gonna go up in price. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will. But this year, I'm totally certain you will find this version for less than $15. And you wanna know what? If you don't have a PS3, even the GameCube version and the Wii version of these games, they're cheap as hell. Alright, maybe Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube is not that cheap nowadays. I haven't seen this game for less than $15 in a while. Right now it's a $20 game, but maybe if you're lucky you will find it for less than $15. The Wii version, which is the second game, Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, that's a really cheap game. That is a game that I think you can actually find it for less than $10 nowadays. It used to be a little more expensive than that, a $15 game, but nowadays, come on, it's a really cheap game. So buy the Chronicles version on the PS3 or buy them separately. Either way, they're all good games, solid games, and for $15 or less, you just can't go wrong. So that's it, guys. Those are 7 great games that you can purchase nowadays for $15 or even less in some parts of the world, like I said at the beginning. And I have here 2 honorable mentions. These are great games, and the prices of these games are a little bit tricky. I was having a really hard time to find these games for $15 or less. I don't know what happened. They used to be very cheap, like $10, maybe $12 each. Even the first Tales of Xillia, this is Tales of Xillia 2, the first Tales of Xillia. I don't want to show it because I have the limited edition, so that obviously doesn't count. But the standard edition, along with the sequels, Tales of Xillia 2, those are games that used to be $15 or less. This one last year was like $10 or even less, but nowadays I was having a really hard time finding any of these 2, Lost Odyssey as well, for $15 or less. So that's why these weren't on the video. And another case that I want to talk about ever since the first video is a game that I've actually never talked about before, and that is Dark Cloud. I don't have that game, but because I live in a country where most people, resellers, are scalpers and they want like $20 for it. But Dark Cloud, the North American version, is cheap as hell. Especially in North America, like in the US, Canada maybe, some other parts of this world, maybe with decent resellers in this country, in Mexico or Latin America, it's a $10 game or less. But the reason why I didn't include Dark Cloud on the previous video and on this one is because the European version of that game is quite expensive. It's a $30 game, $25-$30 game, so that's why it doesn't fit in any of these videos. But the North American version, that's like a $5 game, maybe $10 game. Dark Cloud, it's similar to Zelda, but at the same time it isn't. It's an action RPG, pretty good, slightly hard in some areas, and it's totally recommended. Maybe someday I'll talk about that game, maybe someday. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.